I'm gonna go over here to our our
Oh,
YouTube and see if we're
okay.
live over here. Hang on just a second for me.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to do
Yes,
everything.
we are. Ooh, okay, we are live, so we are good to go.
Tell us, everyone, if you've joined us. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. We certainly appreciate you. We are hidden today. We might be those bees in those cells there. You never ever know. But today we're going to talk about Formic Pro. Kim, I know you just used some Formic Pro, yeah?
I did. I did. Maybe a little bit late. And let us know, anyone who has tried to apply Formic Pro this year. It's been a challenge. I meant to put it on in the beginning of August, and either weather conditions weren't ideal, too hot, or we weren't home, or some excuse. It's always an excuse, but we were going through a dearth, whatever. But
Yeah.
we did put it on, and they're all good. I know we have something we can show later, and we can talk about it as well. But sometimes you might notice extra bee activity, which could be alarming. So we could go. I'm sure we'll go into that at some point. But
I think we do for sure. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
finally was able to find. It's actually going to be mid 70s all week, which is wonderful. I know we look for it at least the first 3 days, but I'm kind of glad I waited actually. And my treatment might be a little bit different than some. I choose to use one pad at a time. It just works out a little bit better for my area and our weather, and just not as much stress on my bees. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm so glad that you did share the video with us because I think it's really interesting. And we'll definitely look into that later because there's some interesting things happening in your
mhm,
video, and I'm
mhm.
excited about it. So,
Excited that they don't leave because you never know.
you never ever know. Well, we'll definitely jump into that, but let's go ahead and start. We are talking about Formic Pro. That's all we've been talking about since we started. So, this is just a brief guide for when you want to use it, exactly what kind of PPE you need,
Mhm.
how you need to prep your hive, and any queen risk expectations. Now, Kim, I know you went through all of this, so you're going to be able to give us
Uh-huh.
exactly a detailed
Mhm.
description of what you did as far as
Mhm.
all of this goes. So I'm glad you're here with us.
Oh, great. And I will say that as many times as I've applied Formic Pro, I always read the label first, and you'll see me in the video reading the instructions, even though I know, but I still just want to be sure. So, yeah, read the label first, everybody. Make sure you are reading that and getting the instructions, checking your weather conditions. And this is a very strong smelling formula.
Yes.
So I did not wear a mask, but if you do have any type of breathing issues, or you don't like strong scents, I would suggest putting a mask on if that's your thing. But it's very strong and made me cough.
I think I saw you cough in the video and I
I
was like,
couldn't
"Oh,
help it. It just comes at you so
yeah,
strongly.
it
So,
does. It does.
mhm.
I couldn't tell though. I was like, is that a Formic Pro cough or is that a smoker cough? But then I said that must be a Formic Pro cough. And then
Uh-huh.
so yeah, definitely. It's even if you have your protective gear on you, it's still something you need to be aware of for sure.
Mhm.
So exactly like Kim said, read the law, read the label, not the read the label. Label is law. So
Mhm.
always read your labels when you're using products like this. So we'll jump on to the next slide. And this one just kind of gives us a brief overview of what Formic Pro does. This describes it as a tiny monster drama under the wax capping, which is really exactly what's happening here. Your active ingredient is the Formic Pro, and it's released from a gel strip wrapped in paper that acts as the wick. So, Kim, when you had yours, it's like a pad, right? Can you?
Yep, yep, yeah. The formic acid is very strong, and you're going to want to remove it from the aluminum packaging, but keep the strip wrapped in the paper, and you'll be able to see that. You don't want to remove that paper, so
Yeah.
that is going to protect everything and keep it all in there.
Okay, so definitely remove the paper. Okay.
Well, don't remove the paper, but you
The
want to
foil, sorry, the
right.
foil,
Yep.
okay,
Hmm.
got it. Yeah, because that could be a mistake that maybe some beginner
Hmm.
beekeepers may like, "Do I leave the foil on? I don't know what to do," because some of these medications are packaged interestingly, we don't know, so again
Exactly. Read the
mhm,
directions. Yep,
read
it'll
those
give you a very
directions.
clear understanding on what to do.
Yes. And then you'll see on Kim's Hive here in a little bit exactly what it should look like when they put it on there. So why do beekeepers like it? Well, because it reaches mites on adult bees and also mites reproducing under that capped brood, which is why it it's great. It gets
Hmm.
under the brood cappings. So some medications don't. So
Hmm.
this one is really beneficial for that. A lot of beekeepers are using it now. And also we can use this with our honey supers on. Yeah.
That is
So
true. Now we
yeah,
chose to remove ours, but
right.
you certainly it is safe to leave your honey supers on, and that's going to be a personal choice
For
whether you leave
sure.
them on or remove them.
Hmm. So you want to use this after monitoring shows your local threshold is reached, and as part of your integrated pest management plan. So, Formic Pro, definitely a winner in our toolbox. We love it.
Hmm.
We'll move on to the next slide here. The weather window is the boss. Now, Kim, I know this is a lot of you had to hold back a couple of days or maybe even look forward because temperature was something that you were concerned about because we did have some hot days or we had
Hmm.
some humid days. Yeah.
Yep, we had a couple weeks where it was at least 85, and I actually play it safer. The directions say between 50 and 85. I don't really like to apply it when temperatures are even 83, 84, but that's just me. So I was looking for temperatures that were going to be 80 and below. It's just
Hmm.
helpful in my situation. I'm not trying to stress the bees out any more than they have been because they do have a mite issue. So in that instance, I was waiting where somebody else may not need to wait as long as I did. But the temperature is something to really focus on because there can be issues if you put it on when temperatures are too high. Typically, this time of year, depending where you are, your temperatures aren't primarily going to be 50 or below, but I mean, obviously, it depends where you live. So focus on the hot
Yes.
temperatures.
Right now, focus on the hot for sure.
Hmm.
And we finally got a cool break here. I know I was just speaking with one of our coworkers, and I think it was close. I don't know. They said it was close to 100. It had
Mm.
been. It was crazy. So too hot for
Hmm.
that in their climate there. But we could definitely use it here. Today it's 76 degrees. So today would be actually an ideal day. It's not too humid out, but today would be the perfect day to put your Formic Pro on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we'll move ahead, go forward, onwards to the next slide. So there are definitely um, two paths through the hive. So there's two different ways that you can apply your Formic Pro. Option one, I believe this is probably what a lot of people just go ahead and do is that 14-day um, period where you just put the two down for 14 days.
Hmm.
And this is what you're going to use for those critical treatments. So I guess if you have like a really heavy mite count, definitely go with that one 14-day treatment. That's what I would do just to
Hmm.
really get it under control. And then option two is a 20-day. So you do one strip for 10 days and then replace the second strip for another 10 days.
Hmm.
The second strip can wait for safe weather. So,
Yes.
mhm.
Yep.
Now, this says Kim, and this is exactly what you were talking about. So, can you go more into this with us? Like, where we're going to place it in the brood nest, right? And
Hmm.
then how does that work?
So if you are using two brood nests, you'll simply remove that second box. You'll put the amount of strips, two or one, however you're going to do it for your treatment, in the bottom brood box. So you'll lift whatever boxes are on top and you'll place your pads right on top of that first brood box. And the directions also show you how to place them. I believe there's pictures as well on our website. We're always available to answer questions if you have any, but they simply go right on top of those frames. It's a fairly simple and nice way to apply this treatment. And that's why when Steph said earlier, a lot of different treatments have different ways of applying them. So this is a nice one if you're not trying to get all up in there and have to pull some strips down in between frames and.
Right, right, exact or have to, add this to it or add that to it. This you just lay
Mhm.
right on lay and go. Yeah.
You just open that foil, take out the pad with the wrapper on it, and then place it right on your bottom brood box.
Mm-hmm. And the last point here that I really like, especially for new beekeepers, is you don't have to mix anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally just open, place, and go, and then
Mm-hmm.
come back and check. So there's no mixing, there's no wondering, did I get enough in? What is going on here? Milligrams, what's happening? I get it. That can be confusing. So this is perfect for that treatment too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's move on to hive prep. I think this is the fun part. So, we definitely want to make sure that ventilation is key here. Yes, Kim,
Yes.
that's very important. So, do you want to go into this with us then, the hive prep portion?
Sure. Yeah. You'll want to keep entrances open. So if you do have an entrance reducer, you'd want to remove that. You want to make sure if you have an upper entrance that that's clear. Sometimes they propolize that shut, so you'll want to have that open. And something I did want to mention, and I see it down here, the screen bottom boards are not fresh air. I did have a couple questions on this from customers wanting to know for sure if they should close up their screen bottom boards. And yes, you do want to close them up during treatment to avoid vapor loss. So you kind of have to think of it as you want to keep as much in there as possible, but you still want to allow ventilation for them. So you'll just want to reduce any or remove any reducers, or if you have your mouse guards on, remove those, and make sure your upper entrance is clear for them. And then afterwards, you don't want to disturb it. So make sure you've done your checks and everything is kind of fresh in your mind. Write everything down if you have to, because after you apply, you don't want to open your hive unless absolutely necessary, but you really shouldn't be opening it all or need to open it. That's why it's great to do an inspection right beforehand. So you just want to leave everything go and they'll be okay.
Right. Thank you. So, and I always thought this was cool because we would see people do Formic Pro treatments. Like where we worked, we used to have a bee yard, which was accessible to everybody who kept hives there. So, a lot of times our coworkers would do Formic Pro treatments, and Kim and I would walk around on our breaks. But one of the coolest things to see is the bearding that happens after a Formic Pro treatment.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't be alarmed. Please don't be alarmed if you see it. It's absolutely, that is normal,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
that you're gonna see that probably within your first day, that first when you first start, that's probably gonna be the most concentrated time of seeing that bearding, and don't be alarmed if you see it.
Right. And it can also depend on the weather and the high temperatures. I actually didn't have any bearding with any of ours, and that could be because we chose to do one pad at one time, and also because temperatures were in the mid to high 70s. So
Right.
we just had some different behavior after a couple of days.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is normal to see all the bearding. They might all come out. So I've seen a lot of pictures and a lot of customers and beekeepers in general asking about that.
Yeah, it could definitely look alarming. That's why we wanted to cover that. It's okay. So if you
Mhm,
see it, just take notice of it and take notice of it the next day. You'll probably see a lot less bearding. And again, like Kim said, it depends on the weather. What's the weather like too? So, all right, we'll move on to the next one here. And that is going to be the PPE, which is important. This
mhm,
is important here. Um, this says coveralls. Great. I just generally have on my bee suit anyway. So
mhm,
my entire suit. But even under that, I will wear, like if I'm gonna put something like this, and I'll make sure my arms are covered because anything could happen.
mhm,
And then your gloves, you don't want to touch this with your hands. I'm sure Kim can attest to that.
mhm.
And your
Yep.
eyes. And please, I don't know why this should be spoken about, but feet. Make sure you're wearing socks and shoes.
Mhm,
I don't personally go into the bee yard barefoot.
mhm,
I don't know about you, Kim. Maybe some people do. That might be
mhm.
an interesting approach. And then air, open outdoors, stand up when, and avoid those vapors.
Definitely avoid the vapors. I can attest.
Yes,
And we were outdoors, so
you you were outdoors, and you
don't
were
breathe it in.
very, very much so outdoors.
Mhm,
Um, So, and make sure you have water nearby so you can like clean your eyes. If something happens, you just
Mhm.
never ever know. Make sure you have that water.
Mhm.
This lady here, she's got her safety glasses under her veil there. She's
Mhm.
ready to go.
She is. She's doing a science experiment.
She really is.
Mhm.
Okay, let's see. Now on to the next one. This is the Queen and Brood Realities.
Mhm.
So this is where it can get a little you just want to keep check on things. Some brood mortality can happen and it's on the label. So
Mhm.
it's expected early in the treatment. Kim, did you find that you saw that or have you been in there? You haven't been in there since. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no, no. I haven't noticed it outside the hive either. So,
Okay. Well, that's good then. That's a good
mhm.
sign. So I guess when you go and do your next you did a 10-day treatment then since you did one pad?
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. So when you check again, I guess you could really see if there's
Yeah,
anything like that too.
that's true.
Fragile queens may be superseded.
Mhm.
I guess we won't be able to tell until we can go back in the hive though.
You
So
won't be able to tell. No.
no. And if you see that, that does happen. That
Mhm.
absolutely does happen. But if you don't destroy those queen cells, Kim and I talk about this all the when I was a new beekeeper, I don't know. I like to go in there and maybe destroy queen cells. I definitely don't do that. I let
Mhm.
them do their own thing because that's what they're gonna do. So don't destroy queen cells, even though we may be tempted to. We don't know what's actually going on in there until we have just a little bit more time to determine what they've done or what's happening.
Right. It'll be a while since you'll be able to check. So if you're doing 2 pads, you won't be able to check for 14 days. So just let everything go and hope that they can manage it. And then once treatment is over, of course, go in and do your inspection and, just see what's going on.
Yes, to Kim's point, this says check for queen rate status at 1 month. So that even gives them time. But I'm like
Mhm.
Kim, I would go in after and see what's going on. Like I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I think it also depends on the time of year. We don't have a
Hmm.
lot of time depending where you live. So we're in Pennsylvania. We don't have a lot of time anymore to let the queen or let the hive straighten itself out if they have to wait for a queen a virgin queen to come back mated.
Right.
So they need to check a little bit earlier just to see what's going on. That doesn't mean to quick go out and buy a queen or anything like that. You still want to do your inspection, see what's going on. Maybe even wait a few more days and then check again just because um, you never know. You never know the first time.
No, you never know because they're gonna do what they're gonna do regardless
Mhm,
of what we want them to do. They're bees, they're
mhm,
honeybees, they live their life. So okay, we'll get on to the next slide. This is actually our last one, and we can call it a day. So this is just the pre-flight checklist, so to speak. This is what you're going to want to check before we so the mite count says it's time to treat. And Kim,
mhm,
I know that you definitely said you needed to treat them.
mhm,
So this was yes. And the weather said yes. It was in
mhm,
your ideal temperatures. And you had a beautiful colony, a beautiful, healthy colony. We looked at it week after week. It looked great. So
mhm.
the colony can handle it and they could breathe and you were suited for it. So
Suited. Yep.
with you were suited and suited. Should should we watch your
Sure, if you want to see how we applied it.
I thought
Yeah,
it was great. Okay, let's see here.
we're just inspecting quickly before um, going in, and hopefully I didn't make it too long. Probably could have cut out a little
It's
bit.
okay. I mean,
We're just kind of seeing what's going on. Oh, I think he's checking for hive beetles because his hive had an issue with hive beetles. That's why there's the towel on top there. So I think he was looking for those and removing them. So, uh, yeah. Well, he's going to remove the second bird box. We do bird box, a deep bird box, and then a medium bird box. So that's how we do it, and we overwinter with one deep and one medium. So Oh, there I am trying to open it. So I did
I
bring
see.
scissors down. You don't necessarily need the scissors. The foil does break apart pretty easily. I wasn't sure, so I brought the scissors down. Um,
It's always best to be prepared though, because gloves can be so
yeah,
tricky.
it's hard for me to work in them. So now I'm just ripping it open. But that's the aluminum foil that'll be around the pad. So, and I'm reading the instructions just to make sure we're doing it correctly, because you never want to spend your money for your treatment and put it on and find out it was incorrect. So,
And now you guys, okay. So
yep. So he just removed that second brood box and we put it right there on the first brood box.
see, I'm amazed at how easily he's lifting that box because I
Mm-hmm.
know it would just take, I would be struggling.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. Tony's the same way. Like they just pick him up like it's nothing.
Yep, no big deal. So it's always nice to be keeping with him. He's my best friend. He'll do it. He'll do
That's
what I
good.
need. So I'm just getting some burr comb and whatnot so that it fits on easier. But really, that's essentially it. Now, if you're going to be putting two pads on at once, there are different directions on how you can place them. Oh shoot, sorry, I didn't turn the volume off for this one.
Oh,
I don't need to
that's,
say any bad words.
let me see. Hang on just a second. I might be able, there we go.
I
No
think
bad words. You know what? It's beekeeping. There's going to be a
there's going to
few
be
here.
bad words, and that's
Yes.
fine. I don't think anybody would really mind. But and then again, I'm for this one, I'm just removing that aluminum foil. Sometimes doesn't want to come off. I am wearing rubber gloves, and they are sticky. So, but it really isn't fairly difficult to remove that. And again, you want to leave that. I don't know if you can see it, but there is the paper, so you want to leave that on. And they were happy to have a nice day. It wasn't too hot. They they loved it. They loved us going in there. So they're over their testy times. So I know we will. I actually think we have goldenrod right now. So as soon as now, again, you can put honey supers on with this treatment. I just prefer not to. So when the treatment is over, we will apply our supers. So we can collect some of the goldenrod, or at least leave them with it for the winter. We didn't have a fairly strong spring flow. I think that happened to a lot of folks around. And we're hoping to get just at least a couple frames from the fall.
Same. I'm not even worried about getting honey this year. I think I've
Mm-hmm.
already decided I'm not going to. So I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm going to leave them what they have. And
Mm-hmm.
if I
Yep.
have a frame, fine, I'll take it. I may even just leave it for them.
Yeah, that's perfect. I don't know what we're doing.
You guys are
That's
having
about
fun.
it.
You're
But I
talking
think
in the
that
bee yard. Okay.
I don't know what. Oh,
Yep.
there. So here's the different behavior I noticed, and this was midday. So I was concerned at first. This was probably 2 or 3 days after treatment. It was a hotter day though, and it was humid. It was probably, I don't even think it, I think it was maybe 79, 80. So it was, I think, more humid than anything. Um, but you just keep an eye if you can. I was able to keep an eye on them. They did this for about 15 minutes and they went back in. So it could have just been a lot of bees were emerging and the foragers were doing their orientation flights, because this has happened in my hive numerous times late afternoon. This was earlier than they usually do it, but that's normal. So you will notice a bunch of different bee activity after you apply Formic Pro. And while we didn't have bearding, we did have this where they're just fluttering all around. So, and they
Yeah.
weren't going anywhere. You'll be able to tell after a few minutes. I mean, at first it looked like they were kind of pouring out, but they actually didn't go anywhere. They all really just stayed in that area, just doing their little figure eights, and then they just went back in. So it
Yeah.
could have been because it was hotter.
Well, I'm glad you got that footage. That's great to see. And thank you for showing us how you put it on your hives. And I'm glad you did the one pad treatment because maybe not a
Uh-huh.
lot of people were, aware that that was an option too.
Uh-huh.
So That's definitely are you going to are you just doing one pad and then you are gonna put another pad on, you said? The other
Yeah,
one?
so I will look and see what the temperature is going to be like. I did write down when the 10-day is over, so I'm going to look to see more accurate weather predictions after that because you can wait in between if you need to. So
Right,
we'll see how
right.
it goes. But then that
Okay.
would be, and it really it's up to you if wanted to do an inspection before you put your second pad on. I know I probably wouldn't for me. But
Yeah.
if you really need to see what's going on, or maybe something was going on before you put the Formic Pro on and you need to get in there, you can before you put on your second pad if that's how you do it.
But you're going to are you gonna do a mite check after, your treatment is complete?
I probably should because they were, especially my middle hive, not so much the one with the blue box there, but that's a little bit weaker in the middle. And that one was the one really struggling with PMS.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think it would probably be a really good idea to do another mite check just to see what's going on.
I'd
Or at
love
least, look at the drone
yeah.
brood and see what's going on in there.
We should do that because we looked at
Mhm.
drone brew before. We should follow up with you.
Yeah.
But what is that's probably gonna be in another 3 weeks or so when we'll be able to do that, or 4
I
weeks?
guess it depends on, well, we'll see how it goes because if I end my 10-day treatment, which would be, let me go look at my calendar, September 2nd will be the 10-day mark. So, I mean, ooh, I wonder if I could even just remove it Thursday. Oh, that's Wednesday. So I could just remove it Thursday, actually. So maybe we could do that.
Yeah, we could do it Thursday.
I'll
See what
just
it looks
remove it
like.
on the 3rd and then maybe do just a real quick inspection, see what's going on. It doesn't have to be anything super detailed.
It would be interesting to see, yeah, like if you did a quick inspection to see what the if there was any drone brood, what that looked like now
Mm-hmm.
compared to what we had seen prior to, just to
Right.
follow up. So
So
cool.
disregard what I just said, where I said I probably wouldn't go in between.
Oops.
I always change my mind about things, so I don't know if that's anybody else as a beekeeper, but I'll make one plan and then I'll just be like, oh,
Well,
forget it. I'm just gonna do this.
I mean, honestly, it's some one thing sounds good, and then you think about it,
Yeah,
or and then it. Okay, now
right.
we're
That's
gonna do
why.
something
Yeah.
different.
I can't
Mhm.
make quick decisions because I end up changing my mind.
Mhm.
And if you make it too quick of a decision, you can't always take it back.
That's
So
true, especially with beekeeping.
yeah.
Make your decisions, make them wisely, but sometimes you do have to make a snap decision. So
Yes, that's true.
just be confident in what you're doing.
Or try to, or pretend at least. Just
Like,
pretend.
yes, pretend you're confident and then
Hmm.
carry on.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this was amazing. Thank you so much for all your help. I have used it before, like when we were at work.
Hmm.
So I am excited to put some on my hive. I'm actually going to use some Apigard. That is the treatment
Oh,
I'm going to use. So I'm excited
I
to
love
take
it.
you guys along with me when we do that.
Okay, great. Because I have not used that one, and I'd love to know more information about it.
Yes. So we're going to do another deep dive on Apigard.
Hmm.
Probably within the next probably 2 or 3 weeks, we'll probably jump into Apigard. So this is the time of year to use that, just like it's the time of the year to use your Formic Pro if that's what you want to do, weather depending.
Hmm.
So come back and join us for other hive treatments and some other things that we have going on. If you're still with us here on Facebook and YouTube and you want to try something a little different in a few minutes, we are going live over on TikTok and we're going to be
Hmm.
creating something. I
We
don't know what
are.
Kim is creating, and she has no idea what I'm crafting for her today. So if you're not already over there, hop on our TikTok, join us
Hmm.
there, follow us. And I think from here on, we're trying something different. We're going to be a little more educational on this side. And on TikTok, we're going to be a little more hands on with some things like
Hmm.
crafting.
Love it.
So join us there for crafting. We hope to see you there. Um,
If you have any comments or anything you'd like
yes,
to learn more about, please leave them below. And if there's anything you'd like to see us craft, please also let us know.
yes.
We're
Let
always
us
looking for ideas.
any treatments. If you have any questions on treatments you'd like to see us do, please let us know. We're always happy to try a treatment and go from there.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, ma'am, I will see you in just a few moments over on TikTok. Guys, thank you so much for your time today. It's
Yes,
been wonderful. Kim, thank you so much for all your
you're welcome.
helpful Formic Pro tips and advice. I really appreciate it. And
Thanks
guys,
everybody for joining.
yes, thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your week, everyone.
Okay,
All
see you
right,
later.
bye.
Bye.